Hey Lisa, those tapes from Abraham Hicks are insane. I'm loving it. Thank you. Oh, nice, Flavio. Is that how you say your name, Flavio? Yeah, they are. And it's not that I believe every word is true, but I think it's like you have to come to see that life isn't your effort. When you think life is your effort, you're always seeking to try and become effortless in time. So you're always seeking to get money, manipulate it, be successful. But when you see it's all about that love of being and just being connected to that, and that the person doesn't actually need to create their life, it will happen, it's a happening, then it will go towards its own vibration, you know, what it's vibrating. You don't have to worry about controlling your life, it will happen. And I think it's sort of, they go hand in hand, because when the person's really agitated about its future and creating, then it's always seeking in time, so that dynamic has to relax. And the law of attraction, as long as you don't take it in the wrong way, is a really great way for that relaxation. If you take a law of attraction in the wrong way and take it too seriously, then your mind can go crazy fearing it and all those sorts of things. But if you take it in the really right way, and I felt like you could, then you can have this beautiful relaxing dynamic to help the person really to surrender that idea that it's got to make its destiny. But destiny will happen when the energy lines up. When you stop fearing lack of money, when you stop fearing lack of success, and there is this energy that just knows success will happen and knows the money will happen, then life will be abundant. Like, life is abundant. It's only a mentality that tells us it's not. Khaleesi has no sense that life isn't abundant. The trees, everything, even if the tree's not getting enough food or enough sunlight, it still feels abundant. And it's that energy that needs to be lined up with, and then life will provide. So in case anyone's confused, I sent Flavio these law of attraction tapes. We had a talk, and there was an energy that was concerned about producing money and work and being successful. And what I really like about the law of attraction is I don't think any philosophy or any conceptualization of anything is reality or truth. Truth is, and you cannot speak it. It's beyond speaking. It's that which is experiencing speaking. But in the flow of things, when the person is really agitated about money and fears money, it then seeks really hard in time to try to get rid of that fear. And actually, the way to get rid of that fear is to acknowledge that fear and see that it's not true. See that you're living in a story that's telling you that life is scary and life won't provide. And actually, when that story is out of the way, life will more than likely be abundant, because it's like our actions and our behavior attract what we feel. So if you feel like a victim, you're going to attract by default the perpetrator. If you feel like you're always going to be poor, then you're most probably going to always attract poverty. It's like a cycle, and whole families, generation after generations, get stuck in this teaching poverty mentality, and then they can never get enough money. And then there's always seeking to attempt to get money and belief that one day they'll have enough and it'll be okay. And then somebody changes their mentality around money, and then it starts being completely different. So with me, the way that I run my business, like sometimes I get afraid by business, so it's quite a big thing in our society. But most of the time I run it through positivity. So rather than focusing on anything negative, like sometimes I have to focus on negative to fix something, but I practice it through positivity. So so say if I'm taking a big risk, like I'm booking a retreat and I have to pay, you know, like sorry, hit the microphone. I have like an excess or something. If I feel like it won't be a problem, then I go for it. So I let it come into my body, and if I feel like it won't be a problem, I go for it. And if I feel like it will be a problem, I don't do it. And the reason why I don't do it if I feel like it will be a problem is because I feel like my energy then goes out and creates that. It's not that my energy, it's just the like attracts like. That's what they say in law of attraction. So I practice my business on that positivity, and I don't always get it right. And even if I lose money, I always look at it positively as well. Like, I always think that everything is perfectly in line. So if you don't make money, or say it's only a small amount of people come to a retreat and there's like 30 rooms and I only get 10 or something, I look at it, I don't go away and think, oh, that was a failure. I go away and I think, that is really brilliant that 10 people got that intimacy, and I focus on the effect that it's had on those 10 people. I don't focus on the lack of money or not being able to pay a bill, and I always try to run my business like that. Sometimes fear might grab me about something. That's part of being human, and it can do that. Like, somebody comes in with a really negative energy and I'm like, oh. But I practice it like that, so it's always on this positivity, and I don't fake it. You can't fake this, you've got to do it with your feeling. So you might have to recondition things to an extent. So it's not just a mental thing, it's like a heart thing, like when my heart resonates with it. And I trust that it will always work out, and it always does. I've run my business like it for 7 years now. When I started renovating my house, there was a little bit of negativity that happened. I decided to do minimal work on the house, and then my friend really challenged me about that and about my perspective on it, and suddenly something changed inside of me, and it really felt right to renovate. And I didn't actually have enough money to renovate, but it felt really right, and then things changed and it kept feeling really right, and all the money for the renovation, it kept getting more and more expensive, came, and it happened. So I didn't have the money beforehand, and it didn't, it just kind of happened. Like, I made money from a retreat and a donation, and I had some, there was just different ways in which money came. And if I feel like I'm going to fear something, then I don't do it. But if I feel that, then I go for it. And that's how I do business. And I've existed like that now since 2011. And sometimes I have negativity. Sometimes it gets me, like after I bought this house, like I didn't have any money left, so I thought I'll just get these cheap decorators in. It didn't actually feel that great, and it was really great. My friend challenged me on it, and then when I opened up, I did a massive renovation when I had no money. It was really amazing. And I don't suggest that you do this unless your heart feels it. Your heart's got to feel it. And whatever happens, your heart has to be in line with it. So if you don't make the money, you don't look at it as in, I didn't make the money. You look at it as in, like, somebody else needed the money. Like, your heart has to be in line with looking at things abundantly, and that will attract abundancy. It's just the way this life works, and it's not a belief system I have, it's just a deep knowing that this is the way things work. It's just to trust me. If somebody's really negative, they'll keep attracting negative situations to them, because that's what they'll see in the world. Like, in this world, you can interpret situations 100 different ways. And if you keep seeing negativity, your life is just going to get more and more negative, and you'll attract negative people around you, more of those situations. If you see life as constantly giving to you, which is what it is doing, constantly in every instant, then it will carry on giving fruits, and you don't need to worry about your survival. Survival will happen, and it will take on whatever form it takes on. Complete trust in life, but it's a trust in the love, so the body's got to feel it too. The body's got to feel that in lineness. If it doesn't, more than likely the situation won't flow so much. And it's the same with, like, if you've got a bad business relationship with someone, rather than like trying to work out how to manipulate them, the best way to do it is actually to try and work out what resistances you have towards them and trying to change that. And more than likely it will change the relationship with them. It's really amazing. But if you're in this stage where your mind keeps saying negativity, then the law of attraction isn't something for you yet, because what will happen is you'll listen to the law of attraction, and more than likely you'll feel overwhelmed by it, and you'll be like, oh God, I'm going to attract negativity in my life, and then you'll get panicked about it and you'll get obsessed with not thinking negatively. You first of all have to recognize what you feel, and then be prepared to transform it and allow what you feel. So you allow what you feel. If it's fear about a project, you admit that rather than trying to deny it. And you say, okay, maybe it's not great to do this project if I'm having really fearful energy towards it. Let's see if I can transform that energy first. And the way you transform it is complete acceptance of it, seeing that it couldn't be any other way, that this is what life is appearing. And then you can begin to talk yourself into the positive side of it. So say if you're feeling fearful about loss of money, so first of all you totally acknowledge it, and then when you've really accepted it and you're ready, then you transform it into I will make money and it will be abundant. But only when you're really ready. You mustn't fake it. So actually the steps are that you first of all allow the feeling in. You allow it, you allow it, you allow it. You keep totally allowing it. Then you acknowledge what I want. So I feel fearful that I won't get money. What I want is, I want abundant money. So you recognize that. And then you transform that, and you begin to slowly allow the energy to come up that says, I will be abundant. Money will be abundant. So that's the process of it. But first of all, there has to be the acceptance side. Now that sounds like a prescription that I'm giving you, but actually it's a description of what can happen, because you think it's you that's doing all of this, but it's actually a reconditioning that's happening that's way beyond you. You don't choose your thoughts, so I'm putting this information out, and that body will change. That body's hearing that information now, and it will change, just like if I gave you information about how to look after a cactus plant and said, oh no, you only need to water it a tiny amount every month and it likes to be hot. And then the next time you go to water it, rather than flooding it with water, you give it a tiny amount. You think, your mind says, that's me doing it, but actually that's a functioning that's happening. Your machine is intelligent, just like the internet's intelligent. More information's put in, more coding's put in, and then the internet can do different things. So it's like Siri. The more that Siri gets to know you on your phone, the more it suggests more accurate information to you, it evolves. And that's what your body's doing. So you think, I'm doing this, what Lisa says, but actually it's a happening, and who you are is that which is watching what's happening. But often for that consciousness to be recognized, the person has to relax a lot. It has to stop being so obsessed with time and getting the solution in time. Like one day when I get lots of money, or I get kids, or I get a husband or a wife, or I travel the world, I'll be able to relax. Or once I get there, once I arrive. So the person has to relax those things and see that it's not about arriving. They're already here, and as that happens, there can be this change. You aren't that limited person experiencing, you're this boundless consciousness. So who's experiencing that person that's thinking about this now? Notice that those thoughts are being seen. By who? By who? It's so cool. I love this subject. It's so cool. Okay.